Should be just sitting here doing my own. My own I should have the theme music playing, but I don't. So what's up, everybody? How we doing? Just decided to check in. We're gonna let everyone kind of get loaded up here and rocking and rolling, and then we'll chat a little bit. We're not gonna stay on for super long. We're not gonna take up a whole bunch of your time, but you know what? We haven't been. It's been so long since we've talked. The studios are getting renovated, and because of that, it's been a bit of a mess trying to kind of get everything back, and they've been in a different studio, and so just answering some messages. All right. So we're just we're not going to do much of not going to do much of anything crazy. We're just going to kind of hang out. I Rogers isn't here. Again, we don't have we don't have anything going to speak of. So, but you know what? I thought it's been a while, and we got plenty. The Olympics were finishing up, and um, all that's going on. So thought, what, let's jump in here and chat a little bit, even if just for an hour or so, something like that. We can do that. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. We logged on. We're just live streaming, so no radio stream, no app of any kind. So if you want to watch, you've got to find us. You gotta figure out where we are and come get us. And I'm going to share all of this out so that I can. Let's see. Sorry about that. The good thing about not being on the radio is I can kind of be a little more stream of consciousness if I want. So just letting everyone know where we are. So if you want to find us, obviously, if you're hearing this or seeing this, then you've already found us. We don't have to worry about you. You've already figured it out. But yeah, I figured, what, we're gonna kind of hang out and just chill and enjoy ourselves, have a good time, see what happens. People can still comment if you want. You can jump on the Facebook page and let us know that you're watching. I would love to hear where you're watching from. That would be cool. But we got the live stream up and running, so if you want to join us, come on. All right, I'm not. I'm still here. I'm just sharing everything out. So you can see the various ways that you can get in touch with us. The phone line obviously is not going to work today. We got no phone line, but the text line is available. Trey is at Rush. Yeah, Trey. There's no rush going on today, my friend. It's just us chickens. And we're just going to chit-chat a little bit, kind of stream of consciousness. I mean, that's what my radio show is anyway, so why should I change now? But yeah, and I'd love to hear from you. If you wanna chat with us, you can. You can find us. We're available on the text line, the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. We don't have the Pearl Shreveport hotline available, though we do love our friends at the Pearl. And don't forget, they are going to be sponsoring our 50 dollar Pearl upset special this year. So very excited for that. It'll be an opportunity to win a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl if you are so inclined, and a lot of people have been inclined. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's always a lot of fun. We have a great time with it, and looking forward to hopefully having a terrific time with it yet again. And big thanks to Robert and his crew for deciding that they wanted to go ahead and sponsor us again over on the Pearl side. Pearl, by the way, 70th and Fern Avenue. If you don't already know, highly encourage you to go check it out. It is as good a cuisine as you're going to get. I just got my paycheck in from hosting the opening drive over for the Southland Conference, and I think I'm going to treat myself to a little Pearl. I think I'm going to get a steak. You know, I haven't had a steak over there yet. I've heard such good things with the pearl dust, and I think I'm going to treat myself to a steak. Maybe tomorrow, or I might wait until after. You know, GeekCon is this week. So I may wait until after GeekCon and then treat myself to a little steak. But we're going to definitely do that some point here soon. It'll be a little maybe post GeekCon, pre getting into the football season, volleyball season. That's all coming up. So either way, we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're hanging out on the live stream. No radio today. So you're not going to hear from Hambone. He is I'm assuming at home with the dogs, and so yeah, it's just going to be us chickens today. Nothing, no one else to speak of. But that's okay. You know, we're feeling good. Had a couple of had something fun, kind of funny happen to me today. I was going in for my usual. I just had a regular checkup from my cardiologist, and you know, just a normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Everything's fine. But I was. I had a visit with my cardiologist, and he was. It was actually his physician's assistant, his PA. But before they did that, they had a nurse come in and hook up the EKG, and they had a tech come in and hook up the EKG, and then they had another nurse come in and ask me about, you know, the normal stuff. Is any of your medications changed? You know, all the normal stuff that you expect when you go to the doctor's office. So one medication's changed. Okay, great. How you been feeling? Everything's good. Blah blah blah. So we the EKG. If anybody's ever had an EKG, it's one where they hook all the little electrodes all over your chest and everything, and a couple on your legs, and they measure your heart. So I'm doing the EKG, and it's pretty normal, like, you know, just a normal thing. It's not like it was some special thing that no one had ever, never happened before, part of a regular checkup. So they hook up the EKG, and everything's fine. And then they get done, and the nurse walks back in. She'd gone out to print it out, and then she comes back, and she goes, okay, you know, we got everything we need. You can put your top back on. And I kind of paused, and I was like, I have never heard anyone refer to a male, you know, shirt, overgarment, top garment as a top. I was like, I've never heard of that before. So I kind of started laughing, and I was like, really? I was like, a top? And she started laughing, and I'm like, I don't think men call them tops. I think we call them shirts, you know, like put your shirt back on, not put your top back on. I was like, I'm not wearing a halter top or something, or a sports bra or whatever. Like, I mean, maybe I could, but anyway, so she started laughing, and which, you know, I'm glad, because she didn't take offense to it or anything. But I was like, it kind of got me thinking, like, I don't recall men ever having tops. but here we go, you know. So I guess I had to put my top back on. But yeah, that's what went down today. The EKG turned out fine. Everything seems fine. Um, all is good. Sorry, I'm continuing to share everything out, trying to hopefully get more folks to come in, and hey, it's a good opportunity if you've never watched the live stream of the show. This is a good opportunity for you to do it. And if you want to check out multiple we've got all these different places. Let me go in front of the microphone. You see here we got the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@Netherton show. We've got the Facebook feed, which is facebook.com/Netherton show. And then we've got Twitter/X, where you can find us, and that is @Netherton show. Now, obviously, if you're watching this, you're watching on one of the streaming platforms. And by the way, if you're watching, drop a note. I'm genuinely curious who all is watching and from where. So please feel free to drop a note. I would love to hear from some folks. I know, a couple people that were like, how do I find the live stream, whatever. It's not necessarily what we normally do. We always do a live stream, but not what usually that coincides with the radio show. This is the first time that we've done the live stream without the radio show in a bit. But I'd love to hear from some folks. Where are you tuning in from? How are you watching? Are you on X? Are you on Twitter X? Are you on Facebook? Are you on the YouTube channel? Give us a shout, man. We'd love to hear from you. We do have a few sports to talk about, and one thing we need to announce coming up tomorrow, right at the top of the show. We're going to chat with Sonny Cumbie, the head coach of the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. So, Bulldogs head coach Sonny Cumbie will join us at the top of the show. That will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then also no show on Friday. Rogers has to take off. He's got some important matters he's got to tend to. So Hambone is going to take off on Friday. So no show on Friday. So this will be, tomorrow's show will basically be the only radio show that we will have. As we've been off Monday, Tuesday. We're already going to be off Monday for studio renovations, and then off on Tuesday because of continued studio renovations, and then off today because of continued studio renovations. Now, the studio is supposed to be done today sometime, and that means we should be back at full capability tomorrow. Looking at a full radio show, video stream, everything as it's supposed to be tomorrow. So fingers crossed that that's the case. But again, tomorrow, Sonny Cumbie, right at the top of the show. We're going to get into the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, what we expect to see from them, trying to kind of bounce back. They've had a couple of tough years as, Sonny Cumbie trying to kind of make them in his image. And we'll see what the Bulldogs have going for them coming up this season. They opened the season with Nichols, who is one of the best teams out of the Southland Conference. That's going to be a tough test early on, a tough FBS, FCS game. And then, we'll kind of get into the meat of their schedule and what all they have and whatnot. But Sonny Cumbie will join us as part of our Louisiana Division I football previews. The only guys, we were supposed to have Tim Rebo on Friday, and I guess I haven't been on. I had a really bad blood sugar issue on Friday, and that's why we didn't have a show on Friday. I guess I realized I haven't been on the air since then. So I was not supposed to be off on Friday. I shared this a little bit with Fletcher's folks. No, that was Thursday when I was on Fletcher's show. So I had a bad blood sugar episode on Friday. I'll get more into that tomorrow. We're back on the radio, but I ended up in the ER, and everything's fine. I'm fine now. Probably the most expensive graham cracker, turkey sandwich, OJ, tea meal that I'll ever consume in my entire life once that ER bill comes in. But yeah, so we had had that go down, and ended up having to I stayed there. I was there till 2:30 in the afternoon, and so but anyway, I don't remember if I've even shared that or not. But anyway, so yeah, that's where I was on Friday. That's why I was not on the show Friday. Then we were already off Monday for the studio renovations, and then we were off yesterday for more studio renovations, and off today, which is why I decided to go ahead and do the live stream. I figured I owed it to y'all, I owed it to the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing and the Pearl to also be a part. So I want to at least get in here and do an hour, just kind of chit chat with y'all, kind of find out what's up, how everyone's doing, how's your mom and them, all of that stuff. So look, if you want to get in touch with the show, you can, even though we're not on the radio. We are sitting here on the live stream, and the text line still works. So if you want to text the show, you can at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. That is the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Again, you can also chat with us on the stream itself. So if you're watching on X and you send a comment, we'll get it. If you're watching on Facebook and you send a comment, I'll get it. If you send it on, if you're watching the YouTube channel and you send a comment, I'll get it. Trey sent a comment earlier about Rush. Yeah, I wonder, I guess I get myself kicked off the live stream if I just, pull up some Rush on my phone and play it. I guess I could play it through my computer if I wanted to. I could capture the desktop audio and play it through there. So yeah, we've got multiple ways for you to get in touch with the show. I believe I could play some music actually if I wanted to. I may check that out. May see if we can, because you never know. There might come a time when I'm not on the radio anymore, right? When I'm strictly doing live streams, perhaps. Who knows? I don't know. But so far, so good. I think we're in fourth year now, fourth or going into our fifth year, something like that. So been doing the show for a while, which is awesome, and appreciate all the loyal listeners and now watchers of the show for helping us out. And especially have to thank our sponsors, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, which, again, 631-0235, 631-0235. If you would like to get in touch with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they can get you hooked up and take care of you. They'll make sure that your plumbing is right. I just had to go turn on my sprinklers for the first time. I haven't turned the sprinklers on in I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 years maybe. Last time, because one good thing about this house when I bought it is it had an automatic sprinkler system, one of those Rainbird automatic sprinkler systems, which I learned how to use very early on. Because I used it the first couple of years I had the house. Well, since then, we've had good weather in terms of we've not been in droughts or anything like that. So I haven't really had to use the sprinklers at all for the last several years. Everything has been kind of okay. Well, this year, obviously, we got, no water and then a ton of water and then no water again. And so I'm simply trying to I put in some new shrubs. I say I did, I had someone come in and put in some new shrubs. So I wanted to, to make sure that those are living. And I thought about just, look, there's a water spout right there. I thought about just going and hooking up the hose and just spraying them down for a bit. But then I thought, you know what, let me see if I've got, I don't remember where all the underground sprinkler system went to. So I turned it on, and I sweated my ass off this morning trying to get the sprinkler system hooked. And literally all I was doing was going into my little closet, turning on, one set of sprinklers, walking back outside,
double checking that they're popping, because they've been grown over and they've got dirt over them and all of that stuff. So I make sure, okay, did they pop up? All right, like clean them off, make sure that there's no grass blocking them trying to spray. All right, then now let me do the next set, and there's like 5 zones of sprinklers, so I had to go each one and just, all right, make sure. So then I had to go back and set the schedule. Set the schedule for when I wanted them to go. And they tell you the best time for sprinklers is kind of like 2 to 5 in the morning. So I set them for like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they should go off tomorrow. So we'll see. If I get out there and everything's wet, then I'll know. But anyway, so I sweated my butt off just being out there. My watch was like, you just did 13 minutes of exercise. Like I literally just walked back and forth from my carport out to the front yard and then back. But as hot as it is outside, that was a workout. But anyway, if you have some kind of an underground sprinkler system and you've got an issue with it, which I have had in the past, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing's a good one to call, 631-0235, or again, you can find them on the internet at greeneplumbing.com. That's Greene plumbing.com. Go find them there, and they will take care of you. So would absolutely love for you to partake in what Bobby L. Greene Plumbing has going on. And as I mentioned, our show also brought to you by the Pearl. Now, for those that may be wondering about the Pearl Upset Special, it's going to come up in week 1, so we're a couple of weeks now away from the beginning. And basically what it amounts to is you will pick the biggest underdog that you believe will win outright. And I'll find out where I'll go look and see what spread I want to use. Usually I use the CBS Sports app because it's it has the best amalgamation of spreads and everything. It's just easiest. Most of the spreads are within, a half a point to a point of each other. It's not like there's one that's somebody's a 10-point favorite and the other one they're a 20-point favorite. Like that doesn't usually happen. But anyway, so basically what we do is you will just tell me which underdog, and we'll do it on the text line. Or you can do it via the chat, but I prefer the text line to kind of keep everything amalgamated. And you'll just tell me who you believe is the biggest underdog that you think will win outright. Bowling Green is a 14-point underdog to Michigan in week 1. I have no idea if they're playing. And I think Bowling Green's going to win it. I think they're going to pull the upset. So much uproar going on with Michigan and Harbaugh leaving and J.J. McCarthy, who's now out for the season, with the Vikings, all this stuff. And by the way, if you haven't heard, that's a little bit of breaking news. J.J. McCarthy is out for the season with the Vikings with a torn meniscus. But anyway, so it's I think Bowling Green's going to pull the upset. They're 17-point underdogs. I think they're going to win outright. And you just say Bowling Green, and all right, write it down. And then I go through after the fact, and I go through the list, and I take whatever the final line is on whatever app I'm using. And it'll probably be CBS Sports. It's just the easiest one. And I believe their lines come from Caesars. So yeah, we'll just go through that and I'll go through any underdogs that won outright. I will put the line next to them and figure out what the number is, and then whoever had the biggest underdog, 3 people picked a 14-point underdog who won outright, and one person picked a 21-point underdog who won outright. Well, the 21-point underdog is the winner. And then if we have a tie, we'll do a tie break. Usually we have Rogers pick a number, or I'll do a random number generator, that kind of thing. That's usually what we do to break a tie. And then we give away a $50 gift certificate, this time to the Pearl in Shreveport. So very much looking forward to that, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to spending a little time doing the Pearl Upset Special. Again, speaking of we were talking about the breaking news, J.J. McCarthy, the rookie quarterback for the Vikings, who had looked really, really good. Again, it's a very small sample size,
But J.J. McCarthy is one of those where they have to get in there to see what the meniscus looks like. Sometimes they'll just kind of shave it down. Sometimes they'll have to repair it completely. And apparently it was a complete complete tear. So he had to do the repair. A lot of people were talking about how well that he had played. Again, in very, very limited minutes, very limited game action. But, he's going to be done repairing that torn meniscus in his right knee. That means that it is Sam Darnold's job now for the Vikings, who Darnold signed a 1-year, $10 million contract. The other quarterbacks are Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall. So there you go. Vikings are going to be practicing with the Browns coming up. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach for the Vikings, said, quote, "He's confirmed everything that I hope to see early in training camp through his performance last Saturday, but our fan base and everyone should just be excited about the fact that we've got our young franchise quarterback, I believe, in the building. Now it's about the unique aspect of continuing a very critical development process for him, where maybe the physical reps aren't going to be there in the short term, but this is going to be a small bump in the road." Apparently he was injured. Don't know exactly when he was injured. Said he reported soreness in his knee on Monday, went under the knife today and this morning, and found out that it was indeed a torn meniscus. So, a tough one, man. O'Connell said other quarterbacks in our league have gone through similar things early on in their journey and come back better and stronger than ever, and that is not only my expectation, but I know that's going to happen for JJ. We'll have a great plan for him, not only in the quarterback room with those other guys, but a process so that him and I can continue to build our rapport and make sure there's a day-to-day football process. So there you go. Apparently a bit erratic during OTAs and minicamp, but then McCarthy had 2 touchdowns in the preseason win over the Raiders, and likely would have seen more time with the starters throughout the offseason. So there you go. Meanwhile, the other big piece of news going on in the NFL is the potential trade of Brandon Ayuk and where he might end up. The thought process being that the Steelers are the team that can really do something for him, can get him have the right mix of draft picks and all of that stuff to make it happen. Now it's just a question of will it actually happen, and that's what we don't know at this point, whether the Steelers and the Niners both want to pull the trigger. Niners are trying to work out the long-term deal, but they have agreed to the parameters of a trade that would send him to the Steelers. They don't want to trade him, but negotiations apparently have not been great. Niners confirmed last week that Ayuk had received permission to negotiate trades with other teams, but also emphasized there's a scenario where a deal gets done to keep him in 49er land. Last year, 75 catches, 1,342 yards, and 7 TDs for the Niners. So certainly a guy that you could see the Niners wanting to keep, but it looks like there's a chance that he may be, could be, and perhaps will be on the way out. So we got that happening. We haven't really talked a lot about the Olympics. The Olympics ended with potentially just scorching hot Caitlin Clark takes if the women's team had not pulled off the win in the finals against France. The Caitlin Clark takes were going to be absolutely blistering. By the way, the ratings for the men's championship, men's gold medal game, the one where Steph Curry hit 4 threes over the last minute and a half and just went nuts. The ratings came in for that, and they were massive. Biggest ratings since, I want to say, a Game 7, like 7 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. The women's ratings came in, and they were good, but were outdrawn by 3 different games in college over the last couple of years. Not shockingly, Iowa involved. So not just insane numbers, but pretty solid. Now, keep in mind the last Olympics in Tokyo, huge time difference. You know, it's literally across the world from us. So that makes it tough. And the gold medal game for the women's side was at 9:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 in the morning Central Time, something like that. So certainly some things to consider when it comes to why the ratings may have been what they were, but still pretty good ratings. You know, you can't argue too much. That's pretty solid ratings when it comes to that. All right, our show brought to you by the Pearl Restaurant in Shreveport. Bobby L. Greene Plumbing. I'd love someone to just hit me up, right? I mean, I know Trey's watching, but if you're watching, let me know what platform. You don't have to tell me what platform you're on. I'll know that when you send a message. But send me a message on the stream. I'm just legitimately curious where folks are watching. You know, who's out there. If you just shoot me a note. Hey, I'm watching in Shreveport, or I'm watching in Lufkin, or I'm watching in Timbuktu. Right? Just shoot us a note. I'd love to know where everyone is watching from. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. Other news and notes. Scotty Scheffler is not a big fan of the PGA Tour's playoff format. But he did win the gold medal, so you know, what does he have to be too upset about? Scheffler talking about the FedEx Cup, he said, "I've talked about it for the last few years. I think it's silly. You can't call it a season-long race and have it come down to one tournament. Hypothetically, we get to East Lake and my neck flares up and it doesn't heal the way it did at the Players. I finished 30th in the FedEx Cup because I had to withdraw from the last tournament. Is that really the season-long race? No. It is what it is." So basically, his issue is not with the format. His issue with just calling it, you know, the FedEx Cup playoffs. He doesn't want it to be called the playoffs when it comes down to the last tournament. Rory McIlroy said, "I love this format because if it wasn't this format, then none of us would have a chance against Scotty because he's so far ahead." Which, yeah, I mean that's also if you're talking about simply, you know, the season-long race. Like, everyone knows Scotty Scheffler had the best season of anyone. Xander Schauffele also had a tremendous year. So, yeah, but that being said, even as good as Schauffele has been, I believe he won 2 majors, correct me if I'm wrong, but Schauffele is like 2,000 points, 2,000 FedEx Cup points behind what Scotty Scheffler's got. So yeah, it's not ideal, because if you literally just went by the season-long point total, Scheffler would have already wrapped it up. But look, he's going to be the player of the year. He won gold. He won a major. He won the Masters again. Like, the guy's he's got 6 wins. Yeah. So this is 100% going to be the way that the format of the playoff is done is simply for the fans, right? It's to make it interesting, because you've gone through the whole season, and to me, it's a little bit like the conference tournaments, right? In basketball, you go through the whole season, and one team went 17-0 in conference play, and no one else won more than 11 games in conference play. So they're clearly far and away the best team in the league, but they still and it's we're talking about one bid leagues. You still have to go win your conference tournament to get in to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, it may not be the fairest assessment of the entirety of the season, But it is at least a way to make the fans have something interesting to talk about. So yeah, they start at the St. Jude this week. Top 50 in the point standings. I mean, like, Scotty Scheffler legitimately, I believe, could advance like all the way. He could go all the way to the end. He may not even need to play the next couple of weeks because of how far he is ahead of everything. But you start at St. Jude in Memphis, then they'll go to the BMW Championship next week at Castle Pines. That is in Colorado, Castle Rock, Colorado. Top 50 in the FedEx Cup point standings after St. Jude will go to the BMW at Castle Pines, which, by the way, first time they've done a tournament at Castle Pines in since '06. That's 18 years now. From there, the top 30 will move on to the Tour Championship, which is always in Atlanta. So Scheffler said it's a fun tournament. That's the one where, you know, Scheffler will start like 10 under par or whatever, and then everyone has to try to catch him. You know, he said it's a fun tournament. I don't really consider it the season-long race, like I think the way it's called. But you got to figure out a way to strike a balance between it being a good TV product and it still being a season-long race. He said, right now I don't know exactly how the ratings are or anything like that, but I know for a fact you can't really quite call it the season-long race when it comes down to one stroke play tournament on the same golf course each year. Yeah, and again, there's a huge difference between the FedEx Cup champion and who actually has been the best golfer in the entirety of the season. And obviously, Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele are those dudes. So it makes 100% sense that would be the case. Oh, Bernard sent me a text talking about when the Pearl of a college football contest is starting. Let's see, Bernard. That would be week 1. AKA Saturday, what is that, August the 29th? No, August the 31st. So August 31st would be the first week. That's week 1. Okay. So we sent that to Bernard to let him know. And we'll read some of the other texts. We'll do that tomorrow. Again, I wasn't planning on staying for a super long time. Just kind of wanted to say hi and catch up, check in. Remind everyone that we've got Sonny Cumbie of Louisiana Tech tomorrow. That will be right at the top of the show, 1 o'clock. Sonny Cumbie will join us. We'll discuss a little Louisiana Tech football. Don't forget, GeekCon is this weekend. GeekCon starting on Friday evening, Saturday basically all day, and then Sunday most of the day. Your opportunity, Kevin Durant, Brett Iwan, E.T., Henry Thomas, and D. Wallace, John C. McGinley, Billy Zane, the governor from The Walking Dead. There's just a David Morrissey, just a cavalcade of folks that are going to be coming through GeekCon, and we highly recommend that you go check it out. And also, don't forget the Sports Card Expo will be upstairs. We may have, you're probably going to have Rogers Hampton up there, so if you want to see Hambone, that's going to be your best place to do it. But Hambone should be upstairs, but it'll be Jacob Hester, who is appearing Friday and Saturday. Then you've got Rafael Palmeiro also appearing Friday and Saturday. So no Sunday for Hester or Palmeiro. But Todd Walker is going to be there, Willie Rofe, Bob Lilly, Billy Sims. Going to be just a masterful group of folks. They'll be signing cards, signing autographs, taking pictures, all of that stuff. So please make sure that you get out to GeekCon and support that event. It is a massive event,
and definitely something that everyone needs to support. So if you get a chance, get out to GeekCon. You can find tickets at geekcon.com. There's also geekshreveport.com. There's a bunch of different websites that'll take you there. But go support the event, man. Greg, our AKA GeekCon Daddy, has been masterful putting this together. They, it's the 9th one. 10th year they've been doing it, but didn't have one for COVID. So technically the 9th GeekCon. So get out there and support the event, man. Get out there and support it. Look, a lot of folks were turned out for 50 Cent and the Humor and Harmony Festival, which is awesome. But I want to see some of that same energy for GeekCon. This thing's been here for a decade, man. It's been bringing in hundreds of thousands of people and money and stars and you name it. It's an event unlike anything else you'll find in this area of the world, right? There's nothing else here that's like GeekCon. So get out and support it. Buy tickets. Go to the events. They're doing a special showing with Henry Thomas and Dee Wallace where they're watching E.T., and they're going to do a whole Q&A and whatnot. Dude, it's awesome. There is so much stuff. Our boy Moody said he's going to con a bunch of geeks. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, as you should, man. Look, get in there. I tell you what, Tyler Moody, you should just set up a booth where they can pay you to go talk to ladies, right? They're nerds. They can't talk to women. You can just go talk to the other nerds for them. You know, the handsome Moody just showing up with his handsome hair and roll in there. And I gotta find out if we're doing Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers again this year. We got to get that ready to go. That'll be coming up before you know it. But yeah, the Pearl Shreveport hooking us up with the Pearl Upset Special. Looks like we're going to do Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers again, where I give you all the college picks and Moody gives you all the NFL picks, except for the first week when he has to do college and there's no NFL games. And the last week when I have to do NFL and there's no college games. So, yeah, we'll hook it up, man. But, yeah, GeekCon's this week. It is going to be special. It's going to be really nice, a lot of fun. So we really encourage everyone to get out and enjoy it. Moody's going to be in for picks, and we're going to do that. We're going to have the Pearl Upset Special, where you pick the biggest underdog to win outright, and you get a chance to win a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl. We're going to be doing up big. And again, if you want to be a part of this freight train, you need to give me a holler and let me know. Let's get you aboard, right? We got the over here on this side. We got Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, and we got the Pearl on board. Let's get you on board now that football season's about to start. We've got Sonny Cumby coming up tomorrow. We've had the Southeastern coach, the Northwestern State coach. We're going to have Nichols head coach Tim Rebo coming up soon. We had the new Tulane coach. We're going to get him scheduled. We got a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on. And want you to be a part of it. So hook it up. Holler at us. Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line 657-0426 if you want your business to be involved. Jump in and be a part of it. We got the Pearl going on. We got Bobby L. Greene Plumbing going on. GeekCon this weekend. And you add in a tremendous lineup of folks there. Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers coming up in the fall. The Pearl Upset Special coming up in the fall. Man, what more could you want? You got me doing football and volleyball on ESPN Plus. I don't know how you could want any more. All right, so be a part of everything that's going on. Support things that are happening in the community. If you were fired up for the Humor and Harmony Festival, as you should have been, because it was a cool event and it was awesome that 50 Cent's putting his money in place, go get fired up for GeekCon, because that is also a cool event. Kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to events. I don't think anyone at Humor and Harmony was dressed up as Goku or anything. I don't think there was any anime cosplay out there at Humor and Harmony, but you'll find a lot of that at GeekCon, and it's just a ton of fun, man. So come join us at GeekCon. I'll be there all day Saturday and all day Sunday. So come hang out with us, man. We'd love to see you. All right, I'm going to end the stream there, but appreciate everyone chiming in. Good to see Moody again. I believe up in Chicago now, at least for right now. And we'll see Moody here before too long, or Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. And he's going to be color analyst for
week 1 of Northwestern State home broadcasts on ESPN Plus. Demons taking on Prairie View A&M. Moody will be the color analyst for that. Love you, brother. Love you too, my friend. Love you too, Moody. The man, the myth, the legend. Who knows that the G Dome and the Gold Dome are not the same. That the G Dome is a much different venue than the Gold Dome. Although apparently 50 is going to build a whole G Dome, like a permanent G Dome. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see that. So awesome to have everyone checking in with us. Cool that everyone stopped by. We should be back on our regular radio schedule tomorrow, 1 to 3 on the radio, streaming live on the app, and streaming here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or X, I should say, and YouTube. Shreve Vegas, Moody. Yeah, we're getting it done, man. Can't call it Ratchet City anymore, baby. We're on the up and up. We're on the rise. Better put your money on Shreveport right now when the odds are still long. You know, right now Shreveport's 1,000 to 1. If you don't get your money on us now, just think a year from now Shreveport might be 100 to 1. So put your money on the Port City, baby. Let's roll. All right. That'll do it for me. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Back on the regular schedule tomorrow, 1 to 3, 11:30 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, and, of course, X and YouTube streaming there. Again, Sonny Cumbie, the head coach of Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, will join us at the top of the show. And then no show on Friday. So there you go. Double J said I'm not broadcasting in camo. No, I have been in camo the last little bit, Double J. Definitely been missing in action. But hopefully, I think the studio is supposed to be fixed as of today, as of this afternoon. So Fletcher and his crew should be back streaming again. They have been over. They have been over on in the new studio. I have not been able to get in there to the new studio, so it's made it a little tougher for me. This new studio, it's actually our old studio, just renovated, but it's not set up for what I do remotely. So that's why I just decided to do a little remote broadcast here on my own. So we'll do that, and then we'll move along from here. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll see you back tomorrow, 1 to 3. Sonny Cumbie of Louisiana Tech right off the jump. The Patrick Netherton Show brought to you by Bobby L. Greene Plumbing and the Pearl, Shreveport. Check out the Pearl, 70th and Fern Avenue. Get your steaks with your pearl dust. Get your oysters, whether you like them raw or char grilled, fixed all kind of ways. They got specials going on. I mean, you talk about everything that's happening is happening at the Pearl. Excuse me. Got a little choked up talking about the Pearl, man. Why not? So go check them out, 70th and Fern Avenue. All right, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow back on the radio, 1